Well, welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. And it is new comic book day, but as we refer to it here in this day and time as new to you comic book day. I would normally put a lot of pictures out, and normally we would go through what we picked up off our pull list, and we would look at it and go, hey, what do we get? What do I think about it? What's new? What's my first impression of it? But being as it is new comic book day, and there's no real new comic books, we're gonna have to do something else. So we'll do what we like. Hey, Captain Comics, welcome, and we'll do kind of what we did last week and do a new to you comic book day. It's really probably no different than our normal Sunday haul list. Because it's just a haul. So what we've decided to do here at Long Box Diving to support our local comic book store is we're going in and spending our normal amount of money that we would normally spend on new comics, and we're going to actually spend that on back issues, out of the dollar bins and stuff like that, just to keep spending that money. Buy our short boxes. I got another thing of short box. I got another. Hey, comic collector, how you doing, man? And I got some more bags and boards, things of that sort. I now have 3 full discount cards because every $100 you spend, you get $15 off. I have like 3 full ones sitting in my wallet. I will not use them until after this thing's over. I don't think it's fair to the comic book store to, take $15 from them. I could because it's mine technically, but just what I normally buy, that's what I buy. And that's what I got today for what I would normally spend on my new comics. So some of this is new stuff. Some of this is stuff I've never read before. Some of it's stuff to fill out my collection. So we'll see what's going on, man. So first, I saw somebody on Twitter was reading Nailbiter. I honestly have no idea what this is about. But he seemed to think it's pretty good. Some other people were commenting on it saying it was pretty good. I found this in my store's dollar bin. So I picked up Nailbiter 4. Nailbiter 5. These covers look kind of creepy. That one looks like it's got a bunch of blood falling out of the house. That one looks like she's falling in a pit of skulls with an umbrella. Nailbiter 6. Now look at that. A baby with a Hannibal Lecter mask on. If that ain't creepy, that's creepy. And then Nailbiter 7. And I think the creepiest thing about this is Brian Michael Bendis is guest starring. All right. And then Nailbiter 8. Look at that. It's got like does anybody watch the Candyman way back when, the Candyman and he looked like he was made out of bees? Is this like a reminiscence of I don't know. I don't know if is either one of you, Captain or comic collector, read Nailbiter. I haven't, so I'm not 100% sure what it's about, but it looks really kind of creepy. So, so maybe. Yeah, the guy I saw was reading the actual trade paperbacks. And so I was thinking about, grabbing some trade paperbacks. Probably I looked on the shelf. They didn't have that. But then when I went to the dollar bin, they had these. I'm like, well, I'll read this 4 or 5 I was able to get and see what I think. And then maybe on our quickfire review, I'll include these in our quickfire review and see, hey, let you know if it was any good or not and whether it's worth picking up a trade, because if it's good, I'm going to probably pick up a trade. Then I got, just some Avengers to fill in some holes. That's number 15. New Avengers 23. Fantastic Four 554. A lot of old Civil War stuff. Avengers Fear Itself, number 16. Now, I did just read the Fear Itself separate story arc, the event books. That was really good. And I really, really liked it when Stark went to Asgard and then created 7 weapons for the Avengers to use, personalized to them. And Spider-Man had these shooters, and each one of them was invested with Odin's magic, including his armor. He had to jump in the pit of the furnace. It was really good. It was a good story. It was, Odin's brother was coming back, and he had gathered 7 champions, and most of the champions were heroes. I mean, the Hulk turned into one, the Thing turned into one, Akuma, which is not a hero, Titania, which has been a hero but has been a villain, and then the Absorbing Man. And I think they had one more, and I can't remember who the last one was. But all these guys got super. They got these hammers, and they got super strong. It was really cool. So these are a bunch of tie-ins, which I did not read, but I got the ones that specifically for the series that I've been collecting. Secret Avengers, number 14, of course. Bummer, little bent on the back, but again, it's $1 book. So, original Sin, Avengers 31. This is Hickman did this with you, and I think it was something like not Stark. Can't remember his name now, but the leader of Shield, Nick Fury, killed Uro the Watcher. I think this is what this series is about. So that should be interesting. Wolverine, number 57. He looks that's a great looking cover. He looks really upset. Silvestri, no, I know why it's really good looking. The New Avengers. Hey, Southern Comic Geek, how you doing, man? Welcome. I am going over my new to me comic book day, and I got a huge stack from my comic book store because, like I said, I spend my money, my normal spending on back issues. So yeah. And then Nick Fury becomes the Watcher, and he acts like a chained dude, right? So he's always chained, and you see him again in the New Exiles. I think he pops up. So this is the New Avengers 34. And then I got Spider-Man number 42. And I guess this dude's name is Platoon, the one-man killing machine. I have not read this one before. Then I got a Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine that I like. I just, when I saw the cover, I'm like, I like that cover. Wolverine looks feral. I mean, that looks just, whew. I didn't even open it up, but the inside looks pretty good too. Cyber. So Peter David, Scott Lobdell, Jay Lee, Dan Slott, and Joe Madureira. Dan Slott, okay. So yeah, you see a bunch of the other stories on the back. Sam Keith art. Is that what that cover is? Front cover, Sam Keith. You are right. Ding, ding, ding. Good job, man. Man, Southern Comic, you know your stuff, man. I had no idea, but I did like it. I did like it a lot. All right, so I think I have this like 4 times now. I don't know why I got it again. Spectacular Spider-Man. The Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 125. And we have all new Spider-Woman. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, the annual number 6. Yeah, I do Comic Collector. I get a lot of the I've just started collecting the Justice League Europe International and the older Justice League America stuff. I was never a DC guy. When I grew up, I was always Marvel. And now that I'm getting older, I'm like, okay, I'm going to expand a little bit and expand my horizons, right? And I find I enjoy Justice League stuff a lot. I do. So I've started getting some of that older stuff, the Guy Gardner, Ice Flame, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I used to pick up those up at the grocery store when they're flip books, Wolverine on one side and Ghost Rider on the other. Me too. 7-Eleven. I remember those. I don't remember that one, but I do remember, Ghost Rider like this. Yeah. Thunderbolts Siege number 141. Thunderbolts was one of my favorite teams. one of my favorites. I like the Thunderbolts. I like the New Warriors, and I liked the Avengers. And the Uncanny X-Men was my favorite team. Those are the ones I collected. Right, I really was on them. Then Thunderbolts 162. Yeah, I mean, I think mostly because when I started collecting comics, I was in Guam, and I started collecting, off the military base. I can only get what the military base ordered, and then we moved to Japan, and then that's when I started buying my own comics. Was in Japan, and again, it was only what I could get at the base. Manga. That's how I called it when I was a kid. And then I grew up, we had cards, Pogs, call them Pogs, with flip Pogs, Saint Seiya. I remember that when it first came out I actually watched it on TV in Japan when Saint Seiya came out. So I mean, about all that we seemed to have was Marvel all the time. I don't remember. Maybe Batman was there, maybe Superman, but there was not a lot of DC stuff that I remember growing up. The new Avengers 14, that's the Thing. He looked really creepy with those squid-like creatures. Man, I wish I had the Mark Jewelers collectors. I didn't. No, none of the variants. Nice. I did find the Omega Men annual #1 from 1984. So I haven't read a lot of Omega Men, but I saw some people reading it. It looked kind of interesting, so I did grab that one. I did New Mutants, number 31. So yeah, comic collector, you're an Omega Man fan? It was like Danny fighting that's a weird mouth creature, huge tongue. Ooh. Yeah, there you go again. The Omega Man. I mean, the art inside's pretty good, but it seems really wordy. A lot of words like here. So I haven't really read a lot of these, but a lot of stuff going on. All right, then I got the Revolutionary War, the Knights of Pendragon. I have not heard of this. And I only recognize one of them by sight, the guy in the back there. But yeah, this looked really interesting to me. I like fantasy. The Revolutionary War, the Knights of Pendragon. And I'm not sure if it's a one-shot or a series. I don't see a number on it, but it looked good. So I figured I'd try it out. Then I got What If the Fantastic Four had not gained their superpower. So What If number 36, 1982. Look at that. I got this for $1. You see Sue Storm. I think she's wearing a baseball or a hard hat. Johnny Storm shooting a pistol, swinging on a rope. Oh, that's cool. All right, then I picked up the Rat Queens, number 8. I've read a couple Rat Queens. They're pretty good. Again, it's a fantasy genre. I do like that. Then we have Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 3. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 8. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 7. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 18, Requiem. So that's a cool looking cover. It's almost like the blood smear is just about in a bat motif, but with all the bullet holes and actually the blood running out of the holes. That is very creepy. All right, so Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 38, Revenge of Crooks. Lobdell seemed to get some heat. Last time I said I liked him. I do like Lobdell's writing. Other people may not, but I do. And then we picked up the New Warriors number 1. I liked it, the original New Warriors. I have their first appearance in Thor, but I think I had this, but I lost it for somewhere around the way. I got it, it just got lost. I do have it again, so this is great. I love this book. And then I grabbed a bunch of old Fantastic Fours. Mostly just trying to kind of fill in my collection, right? I've got a lot of stuff in Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men. I got the Uncanny X-Men. I filled up on that, and then I filled up on Avengers, and now I went through the Fantastic Four. Then I guess next week I'll go through the Justice League, and then we'll just keep going. So, new Titans, stuff like that. So until things get back up and running again. So we got Fantastic Four number 169. But, Power Man joins Fantastic Four, I think, maybe. And Ben Grimm leaves. Then we got Fantastic Four 170. You see Alicia falls out of the Fantastic car. And Ben Grimm is still fighting Power Man. Ben seems to fight like everybody. He gets hot really quick. All right, so Fantastic Four, number 175. We have the High Revolutionary fighting Galactus with, of course, the Fantastic Four stuck in the middle. Fantastic Four 178. The Frightful Four. I think that's Absorbing Man, Sandman. I don't know. I don't remember who that guy is, but then Metallo, I think. The Brute. Ooh, the Brute. All right. So, and then we got Fantastic Four number 179. The Fabulous FF at the mercy of the deadliest supervillain of all, Reed Richards. Ooh. And in this corner, the murderous Metalloid. Nice. I didn't actually look at the covers as I was picking them up. I was just kind of looking at the numbers and making sure it was not on, numbers that I didn't have on my list. So these are really cool. We got Fantastic Four 180, Titania, I think, and Impossible Man. Yeah, nice. So here, Fantastic Four 180. And we got Fantastic Four 181. Like I said, everything left, I think, is Fantastic Four. I grabbed a bunch of these old ones. I love that. It's clobbering time. Fantastic Four 182. It looks like the Brute's back, and he's trying to beat up on Sue Storm. That's not good. Fantastic Four 183. This one has it all. Wow. All these ladies in trouble. He is in trouble. Is that the Brute battling? I don't know who that's about. Blastar? The Thing, Annihilus is fighting Annihilus over there. That's cool. All right, then we got Fantastic Four 185. Here be the witches. Fantastic Four 186. You got snake arms and a snake body. That's creepy looking. The Salem's 7. Nice. Fantastic Four 187. Claw. Fantastic Four 188. The Molecule Man, maybe, and he has made a giant building robot. Except I think the Molecule Man is Reed Richards there. Huh. Fantastic Four 189. Fantastic Four 190. new album size issue. So that's from 1977. So I guess we're moving into the Bronze Age of comics, right? Maybe, I don't know. 192. Fantastic Four 192. The Torch fights alone against the most surprising supervillain of all. Fantastic Four 195. We have Sue Storm against Namor. Fantastic Four 202. Fantastic Four 203. Almost done, guys. Fantastic Four 205. Fantastic Four 206. Look at the Super Scroll, I think, maybe. The Scroll jury has rendered its verdict. Yikes. 1979. And then Fantastic Four 213. They're fighting Tarak. Now look at Reed Richards, man. He is looking old. Man, he's looking old. All right, guys. So this basically, like I said, it's new to me Comic Book Day, or new to you Comic Book Day, as the case may be. And here at Longbox Diving, what we've decided to do is support our local comic book store by spending the money we would normally spend on new comics, on old comics. Get what you can get. I mean, don't, like I told them, I said, I don't want you to feel like I'm taking advantage of you. You don't have to give me the sale price. I'll buy what if I can only get 4 comics for what I normally spend, I'll get 4 comics. That's fine, because it's just about helping them stay open, so we can have a comic book store when this is over. Because I really don't want to go to mail. I don't want to have my comics mailed to me. So I'm trying to help out any way we can here at our us Longbox Diving. We are trying to help out any way we can. That's how we can do it. So this is what we're doing now. So I show them off. That it's like a normal haul video because granted, we didn't get, it's not new, but it's new to us. I can't really post pictures onto Instagram or anything like that. There's just too many here. So I figured I'd do a live stream, show you guys what I got, and just talk about them a little bit, because give my first impression of what I thought. And my first impressions of these, it looks good. Some of them are fillers. Some of them are, not fillers. Some are new. Some are old. Some are older than me. Some are, old, a lot younger than me. And then I got some new ones that seemed interesting. Nailbiter. I'll probably add these to our quick fire reviews Friday. To say, whether I'm going to get a trade paperback on these, because it looks interesting. And I saw somebody else on Twitter that was reading them and saying that it was really good. So they were really enjoying it. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you, Southern Comic Geek, the Comic Collector. We had Captain Comics, and you guys, thank you for showing up and spending time with me and going over what I got today for New to You Comic Book Day. And hopefully you'll join us next time here in the Long Box. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.